Yeah, it's a movie about toys, Steve, and I feel like you're just taking this in a bad direction. It was meant for everybody to find themselves.
Listen, Barbie, the movie that teaches people everywhere that women can be a lawyer, they can be a doctor, and they can have an existential crisis if they fucking want to.
And you know what? Women can get arrested too. I'll just say it.
You know what?
A lot.
Scream
many
it.
times.
Scream it for those who aren't listening in the back. Women can get arrested too, all right?
Yeah.
God. I hate both of you.
First of all, there should be no Ken on Ken hatred. We should be building each other up.
Half of that movie was the Kens fighting each other.
Yeah, because
And it ended in choreographed dancing and a beautiful song and message.
and holding hands.
Can you
Put your
imagine?
manly hand in mine.
You go to a bar one night and like a fight breaks out, but then that fight
Turns into a
shifts into a choreographed
Yes.
dance.
I know what I'm
Great.
doing next weekend. I'm going to go pick a fight at a dance studio and lose because they're probably all for really good dancers. Can you do a very Barbie entrance for us, Danielle?
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Ken.
Hey, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Barbie. I hated that. I hated
No,
that.
you have to say hi, Ken.
Hi, Ken.
I'm Alan.
That's Alan, everyone.
Sup?
You are an Alan. Nobody wants to play with you.
And welcome, everyone, to Barbieland. This week, we watched Barbie. Very, very popular movie from 23. That's 2 years ago already.
Yeah.
And, we thought that this time we're not just saving the world. We got to save Barbieland.
Yeah, and I know what you're thinking. There are no explosions in this movie. However, it was much better than Armageddon.
And
If you've seen our
there was
previous
an
episode.
explosion of sparkles.
And fun.
Lots of sparkles and fun.
And
Yeah.
literally the chest-to-chest explosion of sparkles that basically saved Barbieland.
You know, those chest sparkles, that might be my favorite part
It
of
was,
this
it was my favorite part of the movie.
Just those two guys screaming at each
They
other
just
and their sparkles are just
slammed.
sparkling.
Just pressing your aura into another Ken until it explodes and fixes the world. Yeah, sign me up.
Did we get the right point behind this movie?
No, Kens don't save the world.
First
Barbie
of all,
saves the world. Barbie
I'm
saves
just
the
here
world.
for the patriarchy and horses.
Yeah, we wanted a patriarchy, so, we made it a patriarchy.
He's like,
I
I
brought-
need to find a new place to start a patriarchy.
That's just some of the lines in this movie. It's just like, I have to say that in real life. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Once I found out a patriarchy isn't all about horses, I kind of lost
I kind of
interest.
lost interest. It had nothing to do with horses.
All right, I got to take my sunglasses off here. This is getting serious.
Oh.
Yeah,
So-
you're getting real serious about the Barbie
Well,
movie.
You
this
could.
was
You could go real deep
You
with
could.
this.
yeah, this was one of those movies that I did not expect how deep it was. I did hear people talking about, the Barbie movie and, the song that Billie Eilish did for the movie. That
was
like
for the
sad and
movie?
stuff.
Yeah.
I'd heard the song. I did not know it was specifically for this film.
Yeah, it's for this film. And so, that kind of gives away, all right, this is going to be a little bit serious. It's a little bit for the adults, not so much the children, which I was a Barbie kid. I watched Barbie movies. I played with Barbies. I had all the accessories and things. I think I maybe had one Ken.
You had a Ken?
I think I had a Ken.
Everybody
Wow.
needed a Ken.
I didn't.
One Ken,
there was no
few Barbies.
Kens. I don't think there was any Kens in the house. G.I. Joe.
Mm.
Yeah, that's Ken.
But
Sure,
that's-
one of them was named
I
Ken.
don't even know if that was Mattel, but yeah, my sisters didn't have no Kens, so I had to
Mm.
play with Barbies.
Yeah, Michael has sisters
And
only.
I still play with Barbies.
Were you
Barbies.
were you more of a Malibu Barbie, or were you like a veterinarian?
I was
Barbie?
more
I had a vet Barbie.
dip their hair in water and then put them in the freezer and then get hit by my sisters because I dipped the hair in water and put it in the freezer. But it was the start of my comedic journey. I was like, that's funny. I am always doing that.
Now, I don't want to compare this movie to Armageddon, but it was the one we just did before this, and I gotta say,
apples and oranges.
it was like half hour shorter, right?
Yeah.
This was 2 hours. The other one was 2.5, and it told so much more story in such a better way.
And actually had a point to make.
And had
Yeah.
the same level of scientific accuracy.
Yeah, the exact same amount.
You could call it comparing Barbie to Bratz dolls.
Barbie.
Ooh.
Ooh. All right, now we're gonna start a turf war, and I'm not ready for that.
That's
When's the live action Bratz movie?
There's
Let's
like
go.
1,000 of them. They were all like Nickelodeon
Oh
home
yeah,
movies.
no, that,
no. We want the adult version with
Yeah.
less clothing.
well, I don't think
I
that's what
want the
Barbie-
adult version. I'm sorry.
So Michael's just gonna be an a-hole this whole time.
Yeah, because I'm Knuff.
I do think you fit the Ken role pretty well, so I'm glad you enjoyed the Ken part of the movie.
It's pretty. It was. I felt like the movie was for me.
You know, all these men out here saying this movie isn't for them.
Yeah, the movie was great. Look, for all these like white guys talking shit on the Barbie movie. Shut up! Shut up! That was great.
Am I the only one who's not a Margot Robbie fan?
yeah. You're the only guy that doesn't like Margot. Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're in the corner just.
Oh, I'm just not a Margot Robbie kind of person.
Shut up. That's not humanly possible. But yeah, and
yeah.
if you can't listen to a decently well communicated take on a broken system that's not fair, then you're the problem.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that it's not saying men suck, you know? Like that's not the point of the movie.
It did feel that way.
I get that feeling too, being a man. But also I grew up watching movies where, you know, they make fun of women and they degrade women my whole life. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. And if you can't take it, don't dish it out. So there's a ton of movies where women are in them just to look at, and they do nothing but provide eye candy and sell tickets to men.
Armageddon. Sorry, there's a pollen in here.
Weird.
Liv Tyler, we're talking about you specifically.
girl.
Just kidding. We think you're great.
Yeah, you're amazing. Anyway, not to cut you off.
No,
Sorry,
but
it's just, you know,
Sorry,
cough.
Ken. Sorry, Ken.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Apology accepted, other Ken. Let's try to be
It's
Knuff.
Alan.
Oh, sorry, Alan.
Thank you.
But I feel like when you say Alan, you have to go Alan.
It's Alan.
It's not Alan. It's Alan.
Yeah, you got to put some stank on that A. You know what I'm saying? You just Alan.
So anyway, Barbie movie. This was one of those films that they took real life examples of Barbie
Yeah.
and they put it in the film with
That
the
was pretty cool.
costuming, the Barbie houses, the cars, even the rocket ship. There was a Barbie rocket ship. There was a space Barbie. There was like everything that's in the
The camper Barbie, the
Yeah,
tandem bicycle
the,
Barbie.
like ambulance that opens up.
Yep. Is
Yeah.
all real stuff.
The mirror where there's no mirror. It's just a hole to nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm just starting to piece it together. Like, you have no frame of reference
No.
for this, do you, Alan?
No.
Yeah, Steve grew up with
That's-
one brother.
Yeah, I grew up with Godzilla toys and a pirate ship.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It kind of made it seem like I only had Barbies to play with growing up.
I had other
I just want to go back a
let
few
me
minutes.
clarify real quick.
Let
All
me
right,
explain.
Can you Ken-splain this to me, please?
I am going to Ken-splain this just enough that you, Barbie, can understand.
Ooh.
Can understand. That was actually a really fun sentence to say, but yeah, I had other toys. I just want to get that. I just want to say that I had other toys, and yeah.
All right. Well, now that Ken has said his deal here.
Sorry, Barbie.
So yeah, I mean, it is kind of interesting to think, like, if you don't know anything about Barbie, watching this movie does seem a little strange.
There's a lot of Barbie stuff in the Barbie movie.
Yeah. Well, like, when you're starting out fully in Barbie world, we don't see anything of the real world. They just throw us right into Barbie world. I mean, hey, they're having a good time.
I want to live
It's
in
a
Barbie
little
world.
goofy.
It's pretty great.
It's a little goofy, but it's kids' toys, you know?
But like that's the thing. They really captured it feeling like you're on a play set. Like
Yeah.
like you just have a bunch of different houses. They all look the fucking same, and like they're all just open and like.
And she's drinking, like...
And then
Yeah.
there was nothing in the containers. The food was clearly
Right.
plastic. When she opened the fridge, it was paper.
Yeah.
In the back, she pulls the thing out of the door, but it was just paper in the back. The shower didn't have any water coming out. It was great.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I even love the narrator just being like, yeah, you never like made them walk down the stairs. You never like made them do this. You just kind of picked them up and put them where you wanted them. So
Yeah.
like it was cool to see how Margot Robbie leaves the screen on the top floor and then comes in on the second floor
Yeah.
down.
It just it
It's just
doesn't.
there.
And then you just pick them up and place it, and then she floats down.
Yeah.
And then the beach being
like plastic waves.
flat, and yeah, that was pretty cool. Also, John Cena, what up?
yeah.
No, dude, you can't see him.
He was hard to see.
Yeah, you can't see him.
It's also, I feel
I could
like
just see his
something...
tail.
I don't know if this is like intentional, but it seems like at the beginning of the movie there are more Barbies than there are Kens, and towards the end of the movie it feels a little bit more like equal with how many Barbies and Kens there are in any space.
Things got more equal
Um,
at the end.
Yeah, like, not to say that, you know, they're implying things. I've seen this movie 3 times.
But-
I don't know. Maybe I'm just digging it.
Well, but there's I don't know what it would have been cool if I would have looked up some of like sales totals and then like they had 42 billion Barbies sold and 300,000 Kens sold. Like that
there-
would have been stuff like that would have been
definitely
cool.
were not as many Kens on the shelves as Barbies. Like, hands down, there were more Barbies than Kens. And I feel like Ken kind of came in late to the game. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
they started with Barbie, and then they're like, well, what if
Well,
we
once
also
they
had
made
a
like
Ken?
Mother Barbie, they're like, all right, well, how did she get the mother?
Yeah.
All right, we need a Ken.
Yeah, Midge.
Yeah.
Midge.
The pregnant Barbie. That's
Oh my
yep,
God.
That's
I
kind of
thought we discontinued her.
she's just continuously pregnant
Just always
forever.
pregnant. Just like the 18 kids and counting lady.
Oh my God.
Wonder how many Barbies that household has.
19 kids? I forget how many kids.
I don't know. We're
They-
still counting.
They just have a
Still
deal
counting.
with Mattel. They're just sending Barbies at that point. They're like, here, whatever you use,
It's
send back.
the first subscription that Barbie
Yeah.
sold was to that family.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think the movie's perfect. Like, there are some of those, well, that's a little goofy moments, but I like how they set up Barbie World, and then we kind of start to get bits and pieces of what the story's going to be, but then they keep kind of revealing little things, and the story isn't one straight path too, where it's
Yeah.
just like she has to go meet the girl that's playing with her, and then she goes back and everything's fine.
Right. But no, and I do like the mother-daughter kind of relationship in it. Like, I mean, sure, they don't give you much detail. It's just, I guess, the typical teenager
girl,
with their
yeah.
mom. But like, they resolve it in such a way where it's like the mom kind of gets on her level, she kind of gets up to the mom's level, and then they both realize, fuck it, let's just have fun. My dad's trying to learn Duolingo while we're talking to like
Yeah.
Barbie.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was an idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know why she married him
No,
and then procreated with that guy. That guy was a moron.
No, the perfect fucking example of like just the view of men is that scene where they're like, but what about dad? We can't just leave him. He's like, nah, he's fine. And he's like, bonjour, no. Is that right? No. Okay, bonjour.
That was pretty funny.
I mean, yeah, it's a little silly that it's like, all right, the father in this movie played no role. He had no input. He was just kind of there for the ride. Stupid dad stereotype.
That's why he bought the Barbie, so he didn't have to be around to do any dad stuff. Go play with your toys.
Yeah, I mean, they play off the roles of the women as being the more like emotionally sophisticated characters in the real world.
Yeah, and then like the one attempt at men trying to feel something is like Will Ferrell being like, "No, just call me mother. I understand your experience."
Yeah, that's
like it's all good.
That's good. That's good writing. Where it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but you won't because you're not.
Yeah.
I
which
mean,
is completely fine.
and this movie was hilarious. I was literally laughing
It's pretty
out
funny.
loud.
Yeah,
at a lot.
like this was a good chuckle movie because like it wasn't any like burst out like rolling on the floor, but like it keeps you like entertained. It keeps you chuckling. Like
And it was a
it's
lot
smart
of the
humor.
It was a lot of the small things, like when they're in the real world, and she's like, "I just need a minute to clear my head." He's like, "I'm gonna go for a walk. Can I go that way?" Yes, and then he's waiting.
He's looking at
He's
her,
waiting for her
walking.
to say, like, "Don't go too far." He's like,
Okay.
"Okay, I'm needed still. Thank you," and then he's fine. And that's when he
yeah,
learns that the world's all about men.
Yeah, so the whole thing about Barbie world is that the roles are reversed, right? So they have to smash cut you into our world and really emphasize men so much that they literally have a montage where they're chanting men, men.
And I can't lie. We're always honest on this podcast. None of this is for fun. This is serious. What we're doing is serious here.
Serious
We
work.
definitely don't cover entertainment as a genre. But that was probably one of the better movie montages ever. Like it was just like I was just like,
Just like
yeah.
a horse and
And as a guy watching the movie, it was just kind of like, yeah, I'm a guy. I do those things.
Like it
I
makes
do
you
cool
feel like
stuff. You're
Ken.
like,
You're
yeah.
just like, hey, that's kind of cool.
Hey, that's neat. It looked really cool. Besides chanting men at the gym,
No, listen, I
I've
do
never
that.
participated in that.
Every day in the locker
But-
room, just man.
And it is pretty funny because you get a group of guys and it's just guys. It's like we just turned into barbarians and we will start chanting something at some point. But it's
Shrimp
probably going to
fried
be
rice.
yeah,
Shrimp fried
yeah, it could be
rice.
something stupid like that, but the classic is usually USA.
Yeah,
It's just you get 150 guys together. At some point, they're all
They're all
chanting
gonna
the
chant.
country they're in at the
either
moment.
that or they're gonna start a fucking Eagles chant.
Yeah. E-A-G-L.
Yeah, don't beat us up, whoever their rival happens to be. I don't keep up with sports.
Yeah, me
I don't
neither.
know. I just live near Philadelphia. So yeah, no, I mean I enjoy also the part of the story where it shifts from being the girl that we're pursuing and it's the mom.
That
And
was
she
kind
was
of
the one
neat.
that-
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She was the one who opened the portal to Barbieland. Yeah.
It's not a real part.
It's not actually a portal.
You
Weird-
clarify.
Weird Barbie. I think
weird.
obviously Weird Barbie was great.
Yeah.
Like that's fantastic, and they picked the Weird Barbie to play Weird Barbie, which
Yeah.
is insane.
She's a
how
real
they did.
life.
Yeah.
She's a
weird
real life
Barbie.
Weird Barbie, and that was fantastic.
Yeah.
My other favorite is the heart-shaped conference table at Barbie headquarters. I don't know why I like that so much, but that was great,
Yeah.
and I want one.
Yeah, should we change the table to a big heart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just cut it into a heart shape.
If it's under $500, we should do it.
I do like how the Mattel office was not exactly like the real world. Like all of the the
Halfway in
office guys.
between, because
Yeah.
some of it was the Matrix.
Yeah.
It was
This movie is the Matrix.
Yeah, and
The hallways, it
You
was
can
the
choose the
Birkenstock.
the Birkenstock, or you can choose the high heel.
Yeah.
Like this one will send you back
The
to the
high
real
heel.
world.
No,
It's like, no. You have to pick this
Yeah.
one.
And she's like, "What? There was no option A."
No, I gave you a choice to feel like you were choosing it. There was never any other option.
I mean,
Here's the
it's always great to have like little references to other movies like that, and then they put their own spin on it. It's
Yeah, I mean
very cute.
the entire opening of the movie is the 2001 Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
As the little girls, instead of smashing other things with bones, are smashing their baby dolls into the tea sets.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Michael
that
started
was-
cheering
I was
them
like,
on.
yeah, smash that baby with the other baby.
Dude, as soon as you see the legs go up, you're like, kill it.
I was like, yes, please throw that at. That was great.
Yeah.
I also liked because they have some other references in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that they do that because while it was a well-made movie, you can't take what they did too seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I know there's some people that really don't understand paying homage to,
Right.
and so well, they just copied that. No, that other guy's art was so cool. I want to put it in my art.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's how artists pay homage to one another, and they do
they
it all
don't
the
like
time.
do it word for word. They don't do it shot for shot, but they're gonna take like those little key moments and show them to you.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no. And
Take that, IMDb comment section.
go on and read the comments for the Barbie movie and go to 1 star, because a lot of people were really upset about the film. I like that they don't take themselves too seriously through any of it, and they're like blatantly calling themselves out for things.
Yeah. Like I love it's like a fascist. I don't even control the railways or the flow of commerce.
That was a good
Good joke,
line.
good joke.
And then what's nice was to see the dumb blonde be smart
Yeah.
and like just know things about the world. Like that was very refreshing because I don't know about you, I don't know about you, Alan, but I'm kind of tired of just seeing like dumb women in movies. Like it's so annoying, and it's I don't know. I just don't
Yeah,
like
I
it. It's
mean-
like
Yeah, the trope is kind of played out.
so when
at
they
this
were
point.
like,
It was played out in 2001.
and it's just like
yeah,
I don't know.
And back then we were sticking animal crackers down our pants.
Right? But it's like I don't know. They make all the people. I think they're pretty cool.
Well, and
Well, thanks, Michael. I'm glad you think women are pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Not enough, but pretty cool.
but I do like
Not quite.
like just to play off that point, I do like how they kind of make, especially when she's in the Mattel headquarters and she's like escaping, they make it like, yeah, there's a bunch of goofballs in charge of everything,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
she's the only one smart enough to hop the handrails, and
Yeah.
they're all like, "I forgot my wallet. Where's my wallet?
Where's
oh,
the
we gotta
key
go get
card?"
a key card."
We didn't need it. Rah.
Yeah, and then like when they're all traveling to Barbieland, all the executives, and like Will Ferrell's like, "Isn't this nice?" And they're all like, "Nice." Like,
They all chime in
"Oh."
unison.
It's like, "Do you like the boat?" Boat. It's like it just they're really showing you like in a funny way. It's like, yeah, this is just a mindless entity pushing out shit to like.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just like whatever the CEO
Yeah.
says goes, and they're all just there churning the.
Yeah.
Which is
The
a very
machine.
real title for the job I have. I did like that through those dumb moments where it's just silly and it's like, well, none of us did anything that intricate with toys as kids.
Right.
Like it didn't feel like a kid wrote it or anything. But for some of the stuff that didn't matter, it was very just like, what would a 5-year-old say? Do you like this boat? We're on a boat. Like yeah, that's kind of like the happy-go-lucky nature of it all was because all of this stuff is made around playtime.
Yeah.
So
Right.
there was a happy-go-lucky to all of it. But just because it's happy-go-lucky doesn't mean they don't have brains and substance, which
Right.
was kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, Barbie, I feel like starts having, clearly she starts having those thoughts when she's being played with by the mother. But it's cool that, like, you can see the connections between the mother and her. So Barbie's in the car singing the song
Yep.
that later she is singing with the mom.
Right.
And then the
yeah.
daughter sings it when they
Yeah.
leave. Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Actually,
and
really
then you
like that
also
part.
you see the Barbie on the desk of the mother in the
in the office.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's when she's like making all the drawings, and she's
Mhm.
like literally putting Barbie in all the outfits that we've seen her in the movies in her drawings, and or in the movie so far. And I was like, all right, I see you, Barbie.
I see you, Barbie.
You're making me pay attention,
And
and I like it.
I guarantee if you watch this and like sift through it with a fine tooth comb or whatever, I bet you could find a million
Yeah.
Easter egg type things
Yeah.
that they put in the background and this, that, and the
Yeah,
other.
it's definitely one of those films that they plan every scene to like a specific reason, and it's not just like throwing anything at you. It's like everything has a purpose.
Yeah.
And then the greatest rebuttal to catcalling ever.
I don't have a vagina, and he doesn't have a penis.
We don't have genitals. I have
And
all
then
the genitals.
walk away. And then just walk away. I thought that was great. So I was like, oh, that's. And then I did like how when she first gets to the real world, she's just like, why is there men everywhere?
She's like, oh, a construction site. There will be women over here.
There'll be women over here. Look at this. This is. What are all these dudes doing here?
And then Miss America poster, and she's like, oh, look, it's the Supreme
it's
Court.
the Supreme Court.
Oh,
It's
I
a
wish our
Miss
Supreme
America
Court looked like
pageant.
that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, I was genuinely happy, like, because I wasn't expecting this out of a movie about a kid's toy. Because,
Yeah.
like, I mean, it is not comparing it at all. But, you know, we got that Battleship movie based on that fucking
Yeah.
toy. And now you get Barbie. So I'm like, well, that was stupid about aliens coming out of the water that shot us with, like, pegs.
Yeah. Which
And
is
then
hilarious.
you got a movie about a doll coming to life, going to the real world, and like realizing, oh fuck, the purpose of these dolls was trying to do one thing, but the world ended up the complete opposite way of what they thought. Like it's a cool like fish out of water. Like I love that kind of story.
Yeah, and they're not like preaching about Barbie being this,
No.
ideal thing for women or girls. Like they blatantly come out and say, yeah, you are a skinny blonde girl who everybody hates. And there was a while, I feel like after I was like little, it started to become even more like it was after the early 2000s era where movies were, degrading to women, songs, everything was centered around just women in the least amount of clothing possible. And then like the 2010s and beyond, I feel like we all kind of flipped 180 and we're like pointing out everything
Right.
that was wrong with pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
yeah, there
now
was a
we're-
big wave of like Barbie sucks,
And now we've flipped again.
Yeah, so good job, Mattel. You put out a movie with meaning and stuff, and now they're selling Barbies again.
I was thrilled with the amount, the sense of humor
Yeah.
that I don't know, because it was a Mattel production. So I bet they had some creative control, but they allowed a lot of stuff where like they were criticized in real life for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And which is it's fine on one hand, but again, it's a toy.
Right.
So some of it was just because people like to be mad at things and yell at things. Now, was it kind of like, because to me during that time it felt like they were taking it out on Barbie because that was like the symbol for everything that was
Right.
wrong. It's not necessarily bad that girls grow up with toys. Like that's
Yeah.
not a bad thing, is to have toys as a child. But
yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of it comes from Barbies being skinny or being primarily white, or like a lot of those things that children don't think about, but the adults have more of a problem with. And then
Right.
that like translates to the kids because the mom doesn't want to buy a Barbie for her daughter because she thinks it's derogatory or something. But yeah, it is cool to also have that like reminder that Barbie was meant to just be a doll. It was
It's
just a
supposed to be a
fashion
toy.
doll. So
And
she was supposed to look like a stereotypical model. And yeah,
and
she
I
does.
don't know if you've seen stereotypical models, but they're all very tall and very
Yeah.
thin. It's
But
like-
also like the Barbie figure has changed early
Yeah.
Barbies were more like Marilyn Monroe, like hourglass shape, and then they kind of made her much more skinny and taller and longer legs. So like the evolution of Barbie definitely changed throughout the years. I feel like they've stuck with the same Barbie for a while though.
Yeah, and then bottom line, that company has to sell millions of toys.
Mm-hmm. Barbie is
have-
still alive and
It's
well.
huge.
Yeah.
They have to sell 1 billion of those things a year, or whatever the number is.
And by going on Netflix and just typing in Barbie, there are hundreds
It's a lot.
of Barbie movies and TV shows.
So, on one hand, I'm glad society started looking at itself and was starting to like point out things that were not okay. And then on the other hand, they've got to sell Barbies, so they're not gonna sell as many Barbies if they make them a certain way. Like, it still has to sell Barbies, and there's a whole lot of white folk in America.
And at the end of the day, we live in a capitalist patriarchy,
yeah.
so we gotta keep churning out those Barbies.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, but what about us Allens?
Yeah, well, they
You know?
didn't sell any of them, so they killed Alan.
I'm gonna
There's
go.
one Allen.
I'm going on eBay right now. I'm gonna buy Allen. I'm gonna be the one guy who owns
Barbie
an
Allen.
Allen.
Actually, I probably will look it up because I bet the price of an Allen has gone through the Barbie dream house roof.
all the eBay sellers were like, yes!
Time to scalp my Allen.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Yeah, I got the original Allen over here.
Yeah.
I left
Collector.
my Allen in the box.
You didn't play with your Allen.
No,
That's
I-
why he got discontinued. Is because if you don't play with it, you don't break it, and you don't have to buy another one.
Well, it's like, they got like Beach Ken, they got like Dr. Ken. Do you think it's just like CPA Allen? Or like what's another boring, like Trash Collector Allen?
Now, what
Trash
would have
man
been
Allen.
what would have been cool is if they tried to push Ken after this movie just to boost those sales for once in the life of Barbie.
Oh, I'm sure Ken stuff went way through the roof.
Only if they look like Ryan Gosling though.
The Ryan Gosling Ken. I
Yeah,
bet
the
you
Ryan
they made
Gosling,
a Ryan
yeah,
Gosling
went,
Ken.
probably went through the roof. They
Yeah.
probably made a Margot Robbie Barbie too.
Well, that was the thing about Barbie is they would always make, not always, but a lot of the time with popular films that came out, they would make a Barbie for that
there was
character.
a Jurassic Park Barbie. I remember because
Yeah.
I like when I was a kid and like you get invited to your local like birthday party. You're like, well, it's a girl. What do they like? Barbie. Well, I like Jurassic Park, so
He
here
is
I'll
a
get the Jurassic
Jurassic
Park
Yeah,
one.
no, that's cool.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Now, oh man. Yeah, no, I really like this one. This was definitely one I would go back to
And
again.
I have to say, I hadn't seen this before we watched it for what we're
Yeah.
doing right now, and I mostly didn't watch it because I didn't want to watch the Barbie movie
By
alone in my apartment. So that's why I didn't watch it. And
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those things that it doesn't seem like it's going to be a movie for everybody, but it is a movie for everybody.
no, it was great.
Well, except those people on IMDb who are giving it one
Who
star.
are telling
and-
us way more about themselves than they realize by hating on the Barbie movie.
Like, nah, this ain't a good Margot Robbie movie. You want a good Margot Robbie movie? You watch Wolf of Wall Street. She's naked throughout half of that.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
probably a lot of it. Yeah, I didn't think
That's
about
probably a
that.
lot of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like the final point of the movie and those kind of ending scenes where they make Barbie come down to Ken's level and kind of realize that she also cannot be the total like top of anything anymore. You know, there has to be some compromise, some middle ground, and I think they move forward in Barbie world a little more
Yeah.
equal.
And even the president's like, yeah, we shouldn't go back to the way things were. Like, you know,
Yeah.
the weird Barbie should be a part of the regular Barbie.
Well,
Yeah.
and they explicitly state in the film, and one day Kens will have just as much power and influence as women do in the real world. So,
All right.
Which is
They're
another
getting there.
little joke, you know,
which
like
is funny. Like that's funny.
it's such like a like not making fun of women joke, but just making fun of the state of the
Yeah.
world that we live
Right.
in.
Well, and like that one thing where Margot Robbie's crying because she thinks she's not beautiful, and then the narrator comes in and is like, the note to the casting director, like, you picked the wrong choice in Margot Robbie for this point to
So-
really get driven home.
Of the two things I didn't like, that was one of them.
Yeah,
You know, like,
That pulled me
too-
out of it. And
like
I
too much
never,
of a fourth wall
I never
break.
Yeah.
thought I would say something pulled me out of the Barbie movie, and it was the narrator
Yeah.
who said the actress's name in the movie.
Yeah,
I was like, ooh, didn't like that. And then the movie should have ended with getting ice cream, not going to the gynecologist. Like that's where you. And I was like, no.
She got
no,
a
they-
vagina though.
Yeah, that's
and that's
great.
their way of letting us know that she has a vagina
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Isn't
but
that great?
no,
Does vaginas make you uncomfortable, Michael?
nope. But that seems like they should have showed her leaving the gynecologist's office
Sure.
afterwards, because she had a big old smile on her face, and I
Yeah,
was just
well,
like,
that's
from
the
everything,
funny thing.
from everything I've heard, it's about to be awful.
You know, that's the funny thing. And she's so excited to go to the gynecologist, but she's clearly never been to the gynecologist before.
Yeah, me neither.
Gotta get the pap smear done, you know?
Yep, I don't know what
Pap
that
smear.
is, and I know what it is, and it's a lot of that stuff really sucks that y'all got to do that, but I'm just
Is
here
what
for
it
the
is.
patriarchy and horses.
Yeah, I mean, the whole plot line of Ken bringing the patriarchy to Barbieland is so hilarious, you know? Like,
yeah, because like he obviously has like a crazy view of it. Because like even when he's in the real world, and he's
cranked
just
up, yeah.
because he's just like, well, I can get a job here, and they're like, well, yeah, no, but you need like your PhD, and he's like, but isn't me being a man enough? And it's like, no, you still have to be qualified
Right,
for your
right,
job.
yeah, that was
like,
and that's where Kennuff comes from, is because he's finally enough in Kenland or
In
whatever
Kenland,
he called it.
I really like the
Kendom.
Kendom, where he goes and he's like, I would like to be a doctor, and the lady's just looking at him like, what? He's like, yes, I will need a clicky pen
she's
And
like,
a
no,
white
and a
coat.
white coat.
And,
I can't let you perform an appendectomy. Like,
and he's like,
And a
let me
sharp
talk to a
thing.
doctor. And she's like,
I
I
am
am
a
a doctor.
And
Oh,
he
no,
goes-
there he is.
He goes, oh look, there's a doctor, and it's obviously a guy in a white coat.
Yeah. Oh my
I thought that
God.
was pretty funny. I don't know about you. I prefer my doctors to be women.
I haven't been to a doctor in a
yeah.
while, so you know.
I
It's,
prefer a woman gynecologist.
That just makes sense.
Yeah. I feel
I
like
did
if you're
not
going to tell me what
know-
to do with it, you should also have one.
Well, I mean,
like,
The nice thing is that he still had to go to school for it. They didn't just let him ken his way into
right, but
gynecologist
also
office.
maybe.
No. I get it. I also recently found out that they're all mostly guys.
Yeah, a lot
Which
of
is-
gynecologists are dudes.
Nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know why that shocked me, but I was just in my head. They would all be women
Yeah, no. Most are dudes.
or
it's actually hard to
women
find a woman
adjacent. I don't
gynecologist.
know. Like what? Like I don't know. Like I don't know. I just.
Also, a lot of times the women gynecologists are mean and brutal,
Really?
but it's like still better than having a dude shove his fingers up my. Anyway.
Up my hoo-ha! Anyway, what's going on? I blacked out for a second and I came back in to.
Steve doesn't like this conversation.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
seriously,
gotta-
I seriously didn't know.
Yeah.
And then that's a thing.
Yeah.
Is that it's mostly guys. I was just shocked.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like I don't know why you. I don't know.
I feel like most medical professions of doctor or higher, like what a lot of the time it was just male doctors for the longest time. I feel like even surgeons and just all doctors across the whole board, right? But then like sometimes you run into them and you're like, oh my God, there's actually a woman doctor here. I had a woman surgeon for the last
And
surgery that I had. And
I don't get nervous like at the doctor or anything like that, but I'm always more relaxed, more at ease when it's a lady doctor. I'm just
There's
much
something
more,
about men that just gives off serial killer in most cases when you don't know them.
I,
You know,
I,
and
I don't like it when, as a full-grown adult male, another full-grown adult male comes into the room, closes the door, and then has full access to your body. That's what I don't like.
No, imagine being a woman.
I don't want
And-
to. I don't.
And a man comes in.
I thought Barbie was pretty fun.
Barbie was fun.
Sorry.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got pulled into the.
Yeah, you guys are off
doctors.
on
I
a
mean,
doctor
yeah.
track here.
Yeah. There's a lot of those things in this movie where you can spiral the conversation into so many different things.
Which is that's a good movie. One
that's
that
the
can,
point of the movie.
That's the point. You're supposed to literally do what we're doing now and talk about it and see
Yeah.
where it takes us as individuals with our experience with Barbie.
And it allows you to reflect on the real life that we live in, you know? It's not all just fantasy stuff. Although this movie was classified as a fantasy movie, I think it's I
Well,
like to call it a
hate
drom-com, you know?
Hate to
Drama
break
comedy.
it to you. Barbieland isn't a place we can go.
But Michael,
it's-
if you
it's in
just take the
Sweden.
roller skates to the car, to the
To the boat, to the rocket
rocket
ship, to the tandem bike.
No, the roller skates is the last part because that's
yeah, shit,
where
we're
they
doing it
end
in
up.
reverse.
Just
yeah,
do everything backwards. Don't do it backwards. Do everything in reverse
in
order.
reverse order.
It's like, but wait, am I like
That was pretty funny.
doing
Like
the same
moving
thing but like moving backward? And she's like, don't think about it. Like,
Just
don't think
do
about it
don't
too
think,
much.
don't think too hard.
Weird Barbie was.
But that's what people
fantastic.
also need to take away from this, who are taking this movie like way too seriously.
Yeah.
That don't think about it. It's a movie about Barbie, like
Yeah.
coming to the real world. And there's people who are like, oh my God, I don't like how the dolls are talking and everything's exaggerated.
And they had fingers and like, because I didn't see too. I don't like reading about movies before I watch them, but I did see one thing that was like, their hands moved not like Barbie's, and it's just
'Cause
like
Barbie hands are like fingers fused
yeah,
together.
they're fused together.
You
They're
know
big
why?
mitts.
Because that's a way cheaper mold to make.
Can
If
you
you
imagine
separate
having
the
to-
fingers that small,
They're gonna
that's-
break.
they're and you're gonna get it in your eyeball or in your nose. Whew, that scared me, Kitty.
Kitty hopping into frame.
But yeah, and it's a way cheaper mold because there's less.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, I think overall from having Barbie toys and being a Barbie, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
wrapped in plastic. It's
fantastic.
fantastic.
You can brush
yeah,
my hair.
Well, we're not going to keep going with that song, but
Alan can.
Alan can undress me anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
I also really like the music. Lizzo's song is hilarious, and they bring it back and change the lyrics
Yeah.
and just like make it so like this is what's happening in the movie. And she's like, "Is it the irrepressible thoughts of death?" like stuff.
some of that stuff was because a lot of times the music's just in the movie,
Yeah,
and this is time where like turn the subtitles on so that you catch all the lyrics
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
yeah,
Because I think the first time we watched this, I didn't get any of that through like the song. Like there was a lot of stuff this go around that like I started catching, and I was like, all right, this was a lot better than I remember.
yeah, like genuinely funny movie.
Yeah. No, and the humor's there, the message is there, the fucking sets are there. Like
Yeah.
it's incredible again that they didn't just put Margot Robbie and all these actors and actresses on a freaking green screen. They actually built a fucking set
Yeah.
for once.
They built actual Barbieland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was impressed by. I was like, that's actual moving set pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I
the
was like,
only
this
thing was
is
probably
fantastic.
the sky that they
Yeah,
put
they
in,
probably like touched up the sky, touched up
And
like
then-
some of the
Yeah.
background shit, but
Yeah.
I'm like they
Then
were on a
doctored.
set. Yeah.
Doctored seams and just regular movie stuff.
Yeah.
And the strictly animated extra, like the sparkle off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the like when the
Sparkle.
car flipped over and did that pink cloud.
Yeah.
It was just like, yes, that was great.
And it's
Yeah.
like the perfect level of adding in some computer generated stuff to just make it feel more fantastical Barbieland.
And we say that like it helped it. It wasn't the whole thing.
Right.
And because when the car flipped over the second time, I was like,
do the thing.
do the thing, Boat. Yeah.
Yeah. It's when you use CGI to create things that are fantastical that you can't physically do. Like, you can't make it sparkle in like a fucking 2D, like make it look like that in reality.
You can't
so you gotta touch it up. But like if they were to put her on like a green screen set with a green screen house, everything in Barbie world is green screen, and it just looks super fake going into there, and then you go into the real world, it's not going to have that same kind of feeling.
Yep.
Because you need Barbie world to feel real for the Barbies that live there. And then when they get to the real world, that needs to feel real as well. Like, you can't have one super exaggerated world and then one like pretty much.
And then it was just like raining the whole time in Seattle.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right. So it's like it was cool how they had that, where it was like Barbie world felt like a real place. The real world felt like a real place, and it wasn't that hard to believe that in the physics of this movie that all she had to do was roller skate and drive a car and go on a boat,
Right,
and
which-
like she's in the real world.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
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 Just don't think about it too much.
And that's the thing is, like, you can not think about it and still enjoy the movie, or you can think about all of the, you know, deeper meaning that it has and still get something out of it either way.
Yeah. And if it hurts your feelings, you're a little baby. You're a little
baby.
baby.
Oh,
You
maybe
need
we
to
should put you
still
back
be
in your
playing-
box.
Yeah, you still need to be playing with Barbies if that's if that's how you took it.
And I also think that, like, kids could enjoy the movie and not really get a lot of it.
Yeah, some of this is definitely going to go right over their heads.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even control the railways or flow of commerce.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a hilarious
an-
adult joke.
That's an excellent line.
Yeah.
Period. In any film, that would be a good line. But it was in the Barbie movie.
Right.
And you should all think about that when you make other movies, that there was better lines in the Barbie movie
Than in your
than
two
in
and a half
your
hour
2.5
movie.
hour drama saga.
Oh, is there a hole that needs to be drilled?
No, I said it was a piss poor job.
They're gonna have to come out with like oil rig Barbie and
Astronaut driller
Yeah,
Barbie.
right?
That's a good one.
Space dementia Barbie.
Armageddon Ken.
That's dangerous.
Armageddon.
Ooh, that's good.
Aw. Yeah, it's
We
not
could-
getting much better than that.
Yeah.
We could sit here and just give all these ideas to Mattel for free, or we could not. I'm
Or we
just
could say,
saying.
pay us Mattel, and then we'll give you the
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah.
I will be a Barbie.
I'll be an Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stalin.
Steve.
Take one look at you. You can tell you're an Alan.
Steve
Yeah, I'm
relates to
Alan.
Alan.
Yeah, me and Alan just wanted to fucking live.
Can I just say one thing about Alan is that I love that his role is I don't fit in with the Kens and I don't fit in with the Barbies. And I just love that he's trying to escape the Kens.
Yeah.
And then he gets sucked in back to Barbie World. And he's like, I'm never going to
But
leave.
I did say it was nice that they included Alan in that, and he got the pink jumper and
Yeah.
was integral. In,
I feel like that just represents like an asexual character that's just like, I'm not interested in anybody. I'm just trying to exist. You
Yeah.
know?
I just want to enjoy my life, and the Kens are making him miserable, and the Barbies were making him miserable.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do here? Like, can I just go? Like,
Can I
nobody's
just
going to care if Alan. It's like, in sync? Yeah, all Allens.
Hey, when we're done this, do you want to beach off with me?
Yeah, dude, I'll beat
You
you
wanna
off
have a
with both
beach off?
hands.
I'll beach you off. You don't even know how to beach off.
Yeah, dude,
You don't even know. You
I'm
can't beach
best
me off.
at beaching off.
You don't even know how to beach off yourself.
Yeah, dude, I beach off by myself 4 times a day.
While that was very funny, I'm glad that was a small
Yes.
portion of it.
I'm
and
glad
it
that
was
wasn't
just-
the
it was
whole
a-
humor.
Because that could have been
The
it.
whole
And some movies that just do jokes like that after jokes like that after joke, we're just like, we
Boring.
get it. Sex exists. We get it. We get it.
But that
don't
it makes
pile
me happy because like when you put Will Ferrell in your movie, you're either gonna get crazy Will Ferrell like Anchorman, Talladega Nights, like that Will Ferrell, or you're gonna get this Will Ferrell, where he has a couple jokes, but he's not over the top. He's not like screaming. He's not like overacting.
Yeah.
My favorite part was when he did the least and just crumpled over at the news that I want to see the prequel of what happened with Skipper.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because that seemed
That'd
like
be
it
hilarious.
scarred everyone. And
What did Skipper do?
Yeah, Skipper came with a machete, and
Yeah.
I must have done something.
Barbie 2, Skipper's loose.
Yeah.
Well, I always thought Skipper was like the little kid ones that they made, but I guess there was like a teenage Barbie.
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what she did. Maybe she probably like got a tattoo or something.
She went crazy.
She got a piercing that was not on her ear.
She maxed
Yeah.
out 50 credit cards and then went back to Barbie World, and Mattel had to cover that. Like, that's a lot of money.
I want to know one thing about Barbie becoming human. So, like, does she just, like, get a social security number? Or does she have to go through immigration process in the U.S.? Like, how
Forget
does
all that. What's
work?
her first experience like pooping? Like, that's got to be weird.
Oh, my God.
What is coming out of me?
She's just-
Sorry, this is the kind of highbrow humor I'm looking
I would
for.
have
Yeah.
gone more along the lines of body odor for the first time, and someone
Yeah.
explaining deodorant to Barbie
Yeah.
could have been funny. They're just in a CVS, and people are overhearing that conversation.
Or her getting into a
Could've been
shower
great.
for the first time and water actually coming out
And
of
she,
the
like,
spigot.
waterboards herself.
Yeah, because
Mom, Barbie drowned in the tub again.
yeah,
Hey, Barbie.
You drowning in a tub. Hey, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
oh my word.
Oh, I'm going to be saying that for the rest of the day. Well, bye, Barbies. It was
Right.
fun hanging out with you. Bye, Ken.
I'm Alan.
Bye, Alan.
Bye,
Bye,
Alan.
Ken.
Bye, Barbie.
Sorry, I'm
Bye.
assuming all men are Ken.
Listen, bald. I can't be a Ken.
All right.
That's true.
Bye, Ken.
Bye, Ken.
Bye, Alan. And
Bye.
bye, all the Ken, Barbies, and Allens out there. Till next time.
Bye.
Every film in the book saves Barbieland. Saving the summer, saving Barbieland, saving the planet, saving every summer.
In a world where the patriarchy is running wild, one man stands alone, and he is Kenough.
Explosion.
Michael Bay directing Barbie 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Wait, what are we doing with these? Oh my god! Holy shit!